So I've decided to make a video guide on Boogie Percent. Now, the category does have other guides available, but there really isn't anything to kind of showcase the small amount of time saves that you can do, the different strategies you can take to avoid situations, and I figured I would make something just to kind of help people out. So basically, to start, name your characters, one character each, and then what you can do to mix up RNG pretty well is just hold left here. You'll see the cursor stops flashing. This is advancing RNG 1 per frame. So I'm going to be doing a run, just a normal run that I would normally do. And I'm going to kind of showcase different parts of it, different ways to avoid situations, and like small time saves, kind of explain, you know, the thought process behind stuff, just to make it a little more clear on what I'm doing and things like that. I do have my input viewer, so you can kind of watch along, like my movements, stuff like that. Now, I can't promise I won't get into a situation that it's going to kind of suck to do, but I'm going to try to explain how to get out of it or just kind of deal with that situation. I am going to try to purposefully force a couple situations just to showcase some of them. I don't want to just do a, a boogie run and just kind of explain it. I do want to make, some kind of shout out to different things. So the very first time save you're going to find is movement. Movement is a very big time save. So in this case, I'm going to go down just one step. That's all I need to do. I'm going to get the bat from the right side of it. I prefer to equip it outside the room, but you can choose to do more. So the same thing there, one step down and then just kind of walk across the room. So another thing is gliding off of stuff. You're gonna see me glide off of pretty much anything I can glide off of. This is keeping my movement nice and clean, straight lines. There's that little grass patch right there I turned up at, that's kind of my visual cue. It may not seem like it, but gliding on things is much quicker. Now you can lose up to 5 seconds or more with just bad movement and mashing. Don't do this. This is unnecessary, you're losing time doing that. It takes a little practice, but anybody can learn to do this. Just kind of optimize their movement. Don't get stuck on things like that. You want to turn up as soon as you possibly can here. You don't want to go too far left or too far right. What you're looking for is the screen to fade out around 240. If you're getting screen fade outs around like 243, 245, you are losing time there, and that just kind of shows you, just how much optimization there is in movement and mashing alone. So now I'm actually going to go about halfway down. I use these little lines on the floor to kind of tell me where I'm at. You don't have to go all the way to the bottom, you only necessarily need to go down to about the little lines I'm stepping on. So as you can see, there's a little upside down triangle in the bottom right corner of the box. That's actually what you're looking for. You're looking to try to hit the frame that pops up. That's the whole point of mashing, like the text doesn't scroll any faster until then. Same thing, I'm going to go about halfway down, and I want to try to hit Pokey as close to the middle as possible. It is the least amount of distance he'll have to travel, because he does walk pretty slow. Okay, so I'm hitting the big RNG point here. Now what I do is going to determine what I see. If I feel like that enemy is going to get stuck on something, I'll take a little bit of a risk. But if I feel like it's not going to happen... So in this case, this crow, I'm gonna go down around that one, get them both stuck, and then travel straight down. I don't want to go left because I don't want to drag them left. So a dog, you just want to despawn. You don't want to go too far to despawn them either, because then you're just losing time. Okay, so the dog kind of went off screen, he despawned himself, so in this... Okay, maybe he didn't. Should be gone. Now? So I'm kind of pushing my luck here with this crow. I'm trying to feel out what he's going to do. I'm going to go this way and then up and around, because I can see he's flying into the bush. And that'll give me a free pass. So I went down a little bit there to try to keep the crow from going above and swooping over to me. So there's nothing there, it's not helpful. Alright, snake. I can drag the snake over here. Stutter step up into this. Go above this and then around. It's an easy way to get around enemies. You can do the same thing with the dog. You just kind of drag them down a little bit and then go up and around the bush. They'll kind of follow you. Alright, so if you saw that, I went up and then right. It's a small time save because, as you see, Buzz actually flies to Pokey first and then to Ness. I want Pokey to be as close to the meteor as possible. You can see he flew to Pokey and then he flies over to Ness. It saves like a quarter of a second to maybe a half a second. It's not a, you know, a big substantial time save, but when you're trying to get like the best possible time, you do want to do everything that you can. Because right now the world record in second place is only 3 seconds in this category. And doing, you know, just a few different skips could have been the difference. So you're gonna see I'm gonna try to glide off of anything that I can, just to kind of save frames here. I want to keep my movement as clean as possible. Also, don't forget the bread roll. It's not fun, it makes it a little more risky. That's one less healing you have. The Buzz is scripted in that he's always going to do a shield and then he's going to do a bash. He could do a low roll or a high roll. Ideally what you want is 2 100 rolls, and you want Starman to do either a freeze alpha or just be on guard. So 118 is a good roll. Ideally you don't want fire. Fire is very slow. You can mash select here. B, if you hold B, B will cancel auto fight, but you can do like A and select. Good. Sub 830 is kind of like the ideal time you want to get. Once you start hitting, you know, the sub 110 range, you kind of want to go for sub 8. I did lose a little bit of time trying to showcase some stuff, so it's expected to get a little bit of a worse time. So you'll see I'm talking to him on his right side here, or I guess his left, but from the right, I'm trying to save frames by not having to go like all the way left. Very small time save, but as I said, they do add up over time. I did the same thing outside when I hit the door. I try to hit the right side, the closer side to me. There's really nothing I can do to explain this. Just kind of get around them because it's very random what they do. In this case, just kind of watch the dialogue so you don't mash the wrong button. As soon as you hit, you know, do you understand? And that text starts scrolling, I prefer to switch right there. Because, as I said, the only mashing you're doing is you're trying to mash out that diamond. Okay, so here, I'm actually going to do one step down and then down right. That way I don't bump that little tree there. And you want to kind of follow this path. This is pretty much the most optimal path you're going to get. So you do want to be careful through here. There can be enemies. You want to kind of go behind that fence and then in front of here. Now, what I like to do is I go down left and then talk to him like this. Again, not a huge time save. So another thing is I see a lot of people take weird movements. You don't need to take a weird movement through there. As you can see, that was a pretty straight path. That's optimal. So I'm actually going to pull out 40. You don't need 50. You only need $40. So withdrawing 50 is just a time loss. Talk to this guy. Buy the T-ball bat. Equip it and make sure you sell back your cracked bat. Buy the baseball cap. You can do this in any order you want as long as you get the right items. And then a cheap bracelet. As soon as you equip it, mash B. So at this point, I'm going to hit this line here and then go down left. You want to be about on the middle of this, and then this is important. As this ends, right here, go down to this grass patch. And then you can go all the way over to here, and then down. This will avoid these spawn plates. If you do this wrong, I think they're like 10%, and you can get into a battle. Alright, so if he did a low roll, I'm not going to heal. If he had done like a 11 or 12 damage, I would have used my red roll. Like in this case, I'm just going to use it. And now in this case, I'm just going to auto fight. We take this fight because it's 100% burger drop, which is ideal to get past Frank. And it'll give us just enough experience to where we'll level up on Frank for Frankenstein. So you want to watch your HP. You don't really want to go below 20. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of a gamble here. So I'm going to get a life up on this. I'm going to go up to about 20. Oh, only got 19. Okay, well. Typically, this guy doesn't hit. He can. But it takes 2 hits to kill him. So I'm going to take a little bit of a risk. It may not pay off. Ideally, you don't want to end this fight with a less than 25 HP. Ooh, 63. That's a really good roll. Alright, so I'm not going to waste time trying to do that here. Wait for the fade out. I'm going to life up. Always life up before burgers. You do not want to waste your burgers if you don't have to. So Frank is very volatile. I don't care if I just took 8 damage. I'm lifing up at this point. Always life up after you take damage. And then burger. So I do have a high offense. It's only going to take me about 4 hits to kill him. He can do 2 very high rolls and kill you right away. Just doesn't matter. It depends on what he does. Like 21 HP right now, that would have been very scary to risk. If he had done another high roll damage, I may have died there. Alright, so Frankenstein can do 2 different things. He's going to blow steam and he's going to do a low roll. So I'm actually going to bash. Bash again. And now I'm going to life up. Now had I been 23 or more HP, I would have actually healed on his bash turn. Because I can mash out about a 23, but I recommend about 25 for those of you who aren't very good at mashing. Ideally, you don't want to heal on a steam turn if you can mash out his attack. Because all you're doing is you're taking extra damage that you don't necessarily need to take. So the way I can explain it is you're healing to full and then he's just knocking that damage back down and you didn't get a bash off. Whereas if you wait, I forgot to take the heal again. If you wait until his bash turn, you're actually going to heal the damage he just did, and then you could just continue bashing for another 2 turns. Rather than having to heal during his steam turn again. If he does another high roll. Got to talking and I forgot to take the full heal there. Always take the full heal unless you're confident that you can get through without it. Now if I have full HP and like 5 psychic points, I may risk it and just kind of go for it. Or if I have like 10 and like 40. Alright, walking through here, you just want to hold right until you're past the couch and then down once. Just 1 step down is all you need. And to get back out of here, you don't have to walk way out of the way, you don't have to go all the way up or down. Just go up, bump the couch, and it lines you up right where you need to be. When you're speedrunning, you have to keep that mentality that the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. So what you're trying to do is move straight lines. Alright, so here I'm actually going to pull out 140. You do need to pull out 140, and I'll explain why. Now if you pull out 100 and you have to buy like say 7 burgers, you're gonna have like 20 bucks left. It's not very helpful. But if you pull out 140, you'll have, you know, 50 or 60 left. You could actually buy more on your way down from Ant if you use too many. So I used 1 burger. I needed to buy 6. The rule of thumb is 5 burgers plus however many you use on Frank. So you want to kind of glide off that bush or be close to it. Because you want to be on the right side of the door. That way you don't get the door text. It's a small time save, not much, but it is worth doing. Now, the grind is a bit tricky. You could just walk in and get them, or you might not. So in this case, I'm just going to bash out the first 4-pack, because there's a higher chance that my offense is going to be too low for me to just kind of auto-fight and then kill them. Now if I auto-fought here and I only did say 27 to 1, and then I hit another one for 27, so I still did 29, that would mean 2 of them have lived through my attack when I could have just been bashing the same one out and killed it. So some people will choose to kind of respawn the first couple plates here. There are 2 different plates that you can potentially get them at. This is a valid option. Oh, and another note, start a fight usually around 40 HP. Don't start a fight below 40 HP unless you're sure you know what you're doing. If you get too low, like say you have 2 left and you have 20 HP, you could cancel auto fight and then just bash them out. That is an option. You're looking for 22. So I'm at 29 HP, I'm actually gonna heal. So this is another option. You can actually just kind of do a door despawn until something pops up. Like that. So this will be 12. This will get me to level 7. Now you could take damages ranging from 3 to 5. I did get a good offense and defense roll, so I'm only taking 3 in this case. I don't necessarily need to heal because I'm going to get a vitality up here. Now some people will choose to just kind of walk back and forth throughout the whole place. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like I choose not to because it doesn't usually work for me. And another, okay, well here's some now. Another valid option I'll show in a second is generally, that was a controller malfunction. That's okay, I didn't run though. Had I ran, that would have been an issue. So I like to take a single spawn plate and then just try to respawn it over and over again, hoping to get a 4-pack. Now, just because of the way the game is, the more enemies on screen, the more lag you're gonna have. And that you can kind of use to your advantage to tell you when something is on screen. So I'm at 27, I'm actually gonna heal. Now this is my point right here. Right here, this is the line. I'll just kind of, well, it worked just like that. Just kind of go back and forth there. And then I'll wait for the screen to kind of like start to lag a little bit or stutter. And that's kind of when I'll know that there are slugs over there. But yeah, right here, back and forth. I saw the screen start to shake a little bit. If this is a 3-pack, no. Alright, this will be 23. This is going to be just as many as I need. Now I get to explain stutter stepping. Stutter stepping is moving a certain amount and a limited amount of frames. So I'm going to be trying to move in less than 5 frames per step. It does take a little bit of practice to do to get good at. But when you learn to do it, it can help tremendously. So I only got 3 offense up there, which means there's a good chance, 50% chance that I only have 23 offense, which I'll check soon. But you'll see, with the way that my taps are, I'm trying to move without them moving and following me. Now the more enemies on screen, the more difficult it becomes. In this case, I'm going to go down a little bit here to give myself a little bit more room to work with. And to play it safe, I'm actually going to just despawn him. Now, I could have went up the rope, but then I could have possibly pincered myself. That was pretty clean. I'm going to heal. You want to have full psychic points for what's coming up. Okay, so I have 23 offense, which means I will need to stutter step past any enemies. If you're 24, you can actually instant win against an Antoid. So in this case, that's a risk I'm not willing to take. Now, I could do that, but for the sake of a guide, I don't really want to. I'm going to look for something a little bit more reasonable. Now, this one's fine. You're just going to come down, because you want to give yourself plenty of room to work with. And then come up, back up through here. So he's far enough down, I could just kind of stutter past him. Now, this room's important. You don't want to move. You want to look at that little rock decoration. And look at that line. Now something can be on that black line and you just won't notice it. You can see how small they are. They kind of blend in. So don't move in that room until you observe the room. But they can spawn underneath of you and that kind of sucks. So Titanic Ant, you're gonna rock it. If you take damage, heal with a burger first. Don't use your life up. That is a very low roll, 46. Ouch. So in this case, I'm actually gonna burger. Because I don't want to burn up my psychic points because he can magnet them away. And I'm going to use my second rockin'. And now I can life up. So I've done about 130-ish damage. I'm going to keep track because he has 235 HP. You don't want to be lower than 65. That's not good. A shield takes 3 hits to get rid of. Alright, so he did double damage here. I'm actually going to heal twice. I'm about 160-ish, 170 damage. It's fine if he just keeps doing shield, but you don't want to miss. One smash will also get rid of his shield. You want Ant to just kind of waste time. That's a lot of misses. So this is not an ideal ant fight. You don't want this. He should be getting very close to being dead now. Wow, that's a lot of shields. Should be 1 or 2 more hits, I think. Okay, there it is. But yes, that's ideally what you want to do, is keep your HP as high as possible. A lot of people don't know it, but you can actually hit about this spot right here and still get the sanctuary. For manip purposes, we usually just hold down right. But in this case, if you want to save a little bit of time, you could just kind of hit right here. Alright, so I have, I think, 2 burgers? I'll have 2 after I grab the one out here. I'm gonna have to buy some to do cops, because that's not enough. You shouldn't necessarily need to grab that one. You can choose to grab it before Ant. It does make it a little bit safer. That's kind of personal preference, so I'm not gonna, entice you to do it. I recommend grabbing it if there's nothing in that room, but if you have to stutter past something, don't. That's a lot of enemies. Basically, just try to keep your movement clean through here. So I'm gonna mash B and select. It's faster to tell him no. It's funny that he says, the board says do not enter, but if you talk to him later on, he's just like, the board says don't enter, all in caps and stuff, and just kind of yells at you. So this is why I pulled out extra money. I don't need to hit an ATM up. I still have 59. It's enough for 3. That'll give me 5 burgers, which should be enough for cops. Oh, I can actually get 4 here, okay. That helps. That'll put me about 6 burgers. But yes, this is why I recommend pulling out 140. A little tricky getting through these trees, but it is optimal to kind of go through them. Alright, Cop Gauntlet is a very, very scary area. There is a strategy to getting through this without dying. It's not guaranteed, nothing's ever guaranteed in Earthbound. But you will burn a lot more food doing so. So the idea is below 60, you want to heal with a burger. Below 40, you want to heal with a life up. Now they can just crushing chop you the whole time, and it's unfortunate when it happens, because they do burn up a lot of your healing items. Okay, so I didn't take damage here. I can actually just bash one time on the next one. If he does a crushing chop, I will need to use a life up. Otherwise, I'm just going to heal with a burger. Now, if you're getting low on psychic points, because you do want to save 20 for strong, you can choose to just use a couple of burgers. You don't want to outspeed, that's not good. Okay, so I'm at a pretty low HP now. I'm going to do a life up. The more you do the run, the more risks you can take. Now, you could actually get away with doing under 30 or under 55. Okay. So I'm at 40, I'm going to use a burger here. Ideally, you want to outspeed or get a burger drop. I didn't get one. Outspeed there. No burger drop. That's fine. I only have 1 left. So to play it safe, I'm actually going to heal turn 1. Because I don't really want to die during a guide. They take 3 hits. Take a little bit of a risk here. I don't want to burn up all my food without dealing any damage here. So ideally you want to start strong with about 75 HP or more. Where I'm at right now, I'm very uncomfortable starting to fight with him. Hamburger health drops. So I'm actually going to use a life up, because he can do about 50 something damage to you. And then I'm going to do a double rockin'. If he does another hit, I may heal with a burger and then just kind of hope for the best. Okay, so it's a good thing I did heal. He has 140 HP. I'm just gonna kind of risk it here. And it paid off. There is a balance to risk versus reward, and you have to kind of learn that as you go. Now, he could have potentially done 50 something, and then I could have gotten a really low roll with a rock in there, and then he could have just killed me because I wouldn't have been able to heal. There's always a certain amount of luck involved with Boogie percent. Sub 30 on net is a really good time. You want to strive for 28. That is like your kind of goal for what you feel your average should be, but as you learn, you know, sub 30 is a good goal to push for. Ideally, you don't want to chase butterflies. That one wasn't too far out of the way. But for the sake of surviving, I'm gonna, yeah, go ahead and grab one early so I can life up. Now these guys have a small aggro radius, and that, he could get me if I went down there, so I don't want to do that. I'm gonna despawn him. Now this guy is a bit scary because there can be ninjas hiding in the tree bushes. What I did was a bit of a risk, but it did pay off. You want to kind of follow this path here. Whether you go above these trees or not, it's fine. But you want to do a straightish path through there. Going too far or going down by the hotel is not recommended. I'm going to pull out all the hundreds and tens. And then I'll make my save. Now the reason I pull out 530 instead of just pulling out the regular amount of 500 like most people would say to do is you have to shop in happy. Now you want to end with at least 200. Also, here's another point. You're going to see my movement here. I'm going to try to keep it as straight as possible. But as I was saying, you want to have 200. That way you don't have to hit the ATM up whenever you death warp. That is about the shortest distance you're going to get. I have 2 burgers left, which means I'm going to want to buy 1 croissant. So here's another thing. It's not, you know, specific to this, but this is the path I take because I feel this is the shortest distance to get to where I need to be. I go below here because there's no chance of anything getting you down here. So we're gonna go about a third of this screen horizontally and then half vertically, about your despawn points. Now these caves are very RNG. So the next room, typically, if it spawns like just off screen, you're not going to be able to despawn it. These are 16% spawn plates. Now this is a bit of an important area because I see a lot of people take battles here. So you're going to come straight up through here and then kind of around this stuff. This will avoid some of the spawn plates. That is the path you want to be taking. You're going to go up to about this grass patch right here. You don't need to go any higher than this. Actually, it's about right here, that's where the line is. But to be safe, hit that grass patch. You want to stay close to the walls. If you don't feel comfortable, you can actually go back down through here. And that'll keep you a little bit safer. It's about 4 seconds every time you have to respawn a room here. Again, there's not much you can do, it's complete RNG. So as you can see, I can go up to about right there before they even start coming after me. To give you a little bit of an idea of how close you can get. So you want to go above these buildings here. This is the straightest path you're going to take. What kind of file? Okay, well, there's one spawn plate up here and it's like a 10 or 15% spawn plate. That's just unfortunate. That doesn't normally happen. This is the first time I've taken a fight here in probably a year. Fortunately, I did get a butterfly early, so... Guy there, so I'm gonna go ahead and despawn him. I could have went above up there and then went back down. Butterfly. So yeah, it looked bad that I took that fight, but that is so rare. Typically they spawn above, so I'm not sure how that one spawned down there. But that's why it's kind of important to grab a butterfly as soon as possible. You don't really want to go out of the way to get it though. Again, same thing, you're just gonna go the same path. You can just kind of glide off of that. You want to keep your path nice and tight. You don't want to stray too far from it. Alright, PRV is probably the biggest hurdle for avoiding enemies that most people struggle with. And I'm going to kind of explain, you know, different ways to handle things. It's never going to be, you know, down to a science. Because there is always going to be an RNG factor to it. But there is certain techniques and movements you can do. So again, I'm gonna go straight up and then around these. Play safe so nothing can get me. Avoids a couple spawn plates. I don't need butterflies, I don't have to worry about it. Now, this is kind of the important part. Don't go down here. Go over, because this is why. These guys could have just come over and zipped at me and got me. They'll always come back here first and then go down. Butterfly. So this guy over here is stuck. I can come over to here to despawn him. Now you want to go above these grass patches. You want to be about right in line here. And then go down. This will avoid a couple spawn plates. Same here. You want to go up to about here. I think it's this line right here, technically, but you want to go up to about here and then down. It doesn't avoid that one, but it avoids the one below that point. If you ever need, there is a croissant in that gift box. So in this case, I'm gonna try to get them stuck on stuff. Usually they don't spawn, it's because I walked back to show you that. So in this point, you kind of have to take a risk versus reward. You want to go up in here, and then same thing here. And this will kind of help avoid a spawn plate that's up in this area. So that is not what I want to deal with. Okay, he's coming up too far. So I kind of went left there to try to keep him stuck on the terrain. I did get a pretty clean walk. He's gonna come after me because I can see he's facing me instead of running away. Always want to face the ones that are facing you. Now here's another point I see a lot of people make. Go through here and then come back up here. Don't go way down below that building. It is a little bit of a time loss to do that when there is an option. Alright, so I'm gonna buy a Sandlot bat. And then the Holmes hat. So I'm not gonna have 200 because I did have to buy more burgers. Is it? Oh, I bought the skip sandwich back. So too many clicks. That's okay. You want to kind of eye your money there. Now cultists can spawn here, you have to be careful. It's not a very high spawn plate, but you cannot run from them because they are sharing the same data with a scripted enemy. So you have to fight them, and you don't want to fight them if you don't have to. Right here, go down below this. If there's something there, you can go all the way down to the house and then sneak through there. If you go straight left, you're running that risk of something just grabbing you really quick. You do not want that. It's an unnecessary time loss. They can steal your food. Go below the fence. So you can come down through here the first time, but after you get Paula, you don't want to go down. You actually want to go left. So this fight is a bit scary. You just want to rock in, hope they don't call for help and succeed, and you want to at least kill one of them. They have 94 HP, so I didn't kill one of them. I'm actually just going to rock in again. There's no point in taking an unnecessary risk here. This should kill them. Alright, so I took damage. I'm actually just going to use a burger to heal up. I didn't get a full heal, but I am pretty high up there. I think I got just over 100 now. Again, be careful. You don't want to fight them. So this is typically the fastest way you're going to go. You're going to go left, down through here. So there's a cultist. I could choose to despawn him. Or I could have just went around the right side. Now, if you don't want to take a risk, you can pick this up. This is an extra croissant. Call it the safety croissant. Now the next fight, this is by no means guaranteed. Also, follow the path I take. I see some people accidentally talking to the wrong ones. You don't want to do that. That's something you want to learn because that could be a bit of a time loss. So he has 94 HP. I'm hoping to hit like a 46 and a 50. Did not get it. That's okay. He didn't get a call for help out. So 52, that's a safe HP to be at. You want to be 51 or higher, because this means I don't necessarily need to heal first turn. That Carpenter's gonna hit me, because he doesn't usually do more than 51 damage. He can if you get a very bad offense roll, but in this case, I should be okay. Carpenter is scripted. He always does the same moves. So he has 2 sets of 3 moves. He's gonna do a lightning reflect, a life up, and then a bash, and then a lightning reflect, a shield, and then a bash. So I'm actually gonna bash first turn. I did get 1 reflect, which is good. And then I'm going to rockin' because I have it. So he did do a low roll there. That's good. And then I'm gonna bash. Now that I'm a low HP, he's gonna do his lightning reflect. Okay, well that actually worked out really well. But had he not gotten a reflect off, I would have healed on turn 5. Because I was that low. If I was 24 HP, I would have healed on turn 6 when he did his bash. But you want to finish this battle with as the least amount of HP possible. Completely optional, you can grab the skip sandwich. There's no real advantage to it other than it's fun to run around quickly. It could potentially help you avoid enemies in Threed or the graveyard, depending if you want to use it there. That is runner's choice. I already bought one by accident, so I don't need to grab it. Like I got in my way, otherwise I would have gone right underneath the sign. So cultist flags are turned off, they won't spawn in here. Same thing, I go underneath. There's nothing to the left, so there's no need for me to go underneath that tree there. Key to the cabin, you can use it in front of the door, you can use it to the right. It really depends on what you feel like doing at the time. It is faster for her to walk to you if you're right in front of the door. That is something to note. Now in this case, do not go down, go left. So there's an enemy there. I'm actually gonna go below this. Easy way to avoid them. A lot of people don't know you can go below that point and they end up going back in and respawning. You can go below that point and it does help out. These little grass patches here to line up. So in this case, just walk up to them, hit them, and then turn around. I know a lot of people get scared and they're like, oh no, what if I don't turn around in time? Just touch them and then turn around quickly. So I'm gonna ATM card and then bash. I don't want to kill him. Oh, well, I already bashed. But that's okay, I only did one. Alright, so now that I'm below 15 HP, I can defend. It'll take a second here. Completely random what he does. There it is. Not bad. Ideally, you want to finish it in 2 rounds. But that's okay. So I had less than 200. I'm actually gonna use the ATM. Just pull out 100. Technically, it's 199 because it's integer division. So the 99 would just be removed. Okay, he is at risk of getting me, so I'm just gonna kind of take a little bit of a detour here. You could choose to despawn if you wanted to. And I had runner's choice on that one. Now this is another thing I see a lot of people take weird paths through here. This is kind of the path I choose to take between these 2 little trees there. Straight down and then through the bush. I said through the bush. There we go. You have to kind of use your judgment on this room. They move all over the place. There's no one right way to do that. That is another time save though, is dialogue awareness. Where you're at in the dialogue and when it ends can save you time from overmashing. You will overmash eventually, it does happen. I've been running this game for 1.5 years and I still overmash. Don't feel discouraged. I'm just gonna despawn that guy because he is in a position where he could get me. I like to be right around the middle here. The middle's fine. Because it is a short distance he has to travel to you, but he does move pretty quickly. So there is a photo trigger here. You can walk up this line right here, hit the building, and then go in. You know what? I just realized I kept my items. Whoops. Okay, I did make a mistake. I got busy talking. After you get Paula, you want to drop your defensive items and drop the teddy bear. I don't know how I did the death warp with all that, but I did. But okay. So I did make a mistake there. Got caught up talking. It's fine. Don't worry about it. You didn't see anything. But yes, ideally you want to drop the cheap bracelet, the baseball cap, and then the teddy bear. It's a little over a minute or something. Just a good time save to go, you know, get a drink or something. This is your first real input break. To keep things fair, I will drop these items afterwards, just to kind of showcase what you're supposed to do. That's a lot of lag because I have so many items now. Oh, home set, never mind. Drop those, and then go fight the mole. You do need to use it behind the desk, otherwise he won't accept it. It is a very, very weird game decision. I don't know why they did that, but okay. Just hold right. Keep holding right unless he jumps in your way. You can choose to go this way, hit this line, and then back down. Or you could choose to go left around the bus. It is faster to go right if you do it well and you don't bump into anything. It is safer to go left. This is another small input break. And something to note for why we dropped the teddy bear. The teddy bear has 100 HP and a 75% chance to take damage. So that's why we get rid of it. I got very, very lucky that the teddy bear did not take damage for me. Alright, this is another thing that I see a lot of new runners kind of struggle with. Graveyard is very volatile. There is a way to kind of control what happens and deal with it. And I'm going to see if I can showcase that. So the fastest way to go up between these buildings here. Left, up left, and then just straight up. So there's a ghost. I'm actually going to go... Actually, I'm going to despawn at this point. There's too many there. So you want to go up between these and then above these here. This is your safest bet because it can get anything stuck. So you want to go down right here. Now there are enemies here, so I'm just going to go ahead and go down. At the rock. And despawn. So you want to come up through here. Don't go this way. Come up through here. Because that will avoid the spawn plate up in here. Hit this grass patch and turn around and come back down. The reason you're coming down is enemies can spawn over there. You don't... Okay, well in this case he did come after me. That was a lucky green. I'm just gonna go ahead and run. I could kill him and get the extra experience, but I don't want to do that because I don't want to have like an unfair advantage because Paula will get fire. So I'm gonna come back through here up top. This will give me the best advantage to avoiding the enemies. Now, if you were to take that fight, it's okay because I've already spawned these zombies. Dialogue. And if I were to die, I could just walk right back up. Or, as long as you don't get red swirled, you could bash with Ness and then freeze with Paula, and then you could potentially kill it. If you do kill it with Paula still alive, you will get a bunch of levels on her. Now, it's not necessarily time loss for the levels, because she will get those on Boogie Tent anyway. It just it means that Boogie Tent will be a little bit safer because you do have fire, which can do between like 60 to 100 damage or something on them. Not much to this point, just a bunch of dialogue. If you can, kind of just glide left there. Hit the left side of the door. It doesn't matter whether you're mashing confirm or decline through here. Now this is a small time save right here. You can come up right here and use the key to the locker on the side. Or you could just choose to go below it and use it there. Now I could have dropped the defense spray there while I had the menu open. It does save like 3 seconds or something. But it does give you that risk of not having a defense spray if you died in Boogie Tent. Come over to this one. Come up to this one. Now I'm just gonna glide. No need for me to do anything else. Now it is faster to talk to Bubble Monkey from below him, because he does have shorter distance to travel to join you. So I'm gonna try to showcase how to handle like a dog coming up through here. You want to cut through here, and then whatever you get, you gotta kind of determine what you're gonna do. So a goat, no bueno, we're gonna despawn him. A dog is fine. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to ride this, and then as soon as I hit him, turn down. You're not always gonna get this, but you can force a green swirl this way. I did get a red roll, and I got a level up from that. That'll make first proto a little bit safer. You could choose to go left and despawn the dog and then walk past. That is completely optional. I use these little grass patches here to kind of line me up to where I need to walk. Again, like I said, I use a lot of visual cues just to kind of keep the movement clean. Now this is a bit of a tricky one here. You could choose to just kind of ride it left and you'll go up and above here. Or you could choose to go down just a hair and then underneath. Ideally, you want to have Bubble Monkey to the left and Jeff to the right, because Bubble Monkey flies to the left and Jeff has to walk right onto Tessie. Like, you don't actually have to hit the corner. You're gonna see that I'm gonna use this cliff below me here. Line up. This point right here. This is your line. You only have to go to here and then down. You don't have to go too far left, because at that point you're just gonna lose time. Now, first proto is a gamble. You could try to skip him. I'm just gonna go ahead and take the fight. You're gonna bash. So we only did 9. Because I got that nice HP up, I should be okay. If he were to call for help, I could actually just defend and then wait until about turn 4, 5. That's when you start getting a positive number. If there's 2 of them, you could wait till about turn 6 or 7 and then run. So the duck is actually in a good place. As you can see, the duck, you want to get down here if possible. Now he's actually low enough I could do it, but ideally you want him to be just a hair lower. So he moved left a little. That's fine. I'm just gonna sneak up. He's gonna go left, and that's how you skip the duck. Now this one I'll probably miss. Okay, but you wanna go till right around here, and then you want Bubble Monkey to stop and then go left. Once the president starts coming after you, go down left and then left. That was pretty fortunate. It's very RNG when that happens, but you don't want to move too quickly. If Bubble Monkey just stops, you don't want to go right away. You want to give him just a little bit of time. Now to play it safe, you want to make sure this first room's clean. You don't want anything in here because you can lose a little bit of time trying to stutter around. So there's something there. Get her away. Come on. This area, typically you can stutter past anything in here. Just give yourself plenty of room. Same situation in here. Despawn until you get a clean room, until you're very confident. In this case, that one is high enough. I can go around him. That one is in the way. I can't actually get past that one. So, just to play it safe, I'm going to go ahead and despawn. I could have gotten around them by stuttering, but that's not going to showcase anything. These rooms, don't even mess with it. Just despawn until you get clean. So this is something you could do. Now, if Bubble Monkey were to stop, you can actually walk past it. You don't want to go too far though. And then when he hits just below the rope, use the bubble gum. It's useful because you're not losing time. You're getting past it. Now up about right here, this is too far. You want to use it generally right up in here. And then he'll just zoom up to you. Now this is a 70% spawn plate. Now that one, if I were to come up here, might aggro me, but I don't want to risk it. That is not something you want to kind of take a chance on. Let's see if I can get one to spawn. Like when you want something, nothing's there. Come on. Alright, now this one's fine because you're going to come up here, let him aggro you, and he's going to get stuck. And you can just walk right out. How you choose to walk through here is kind of your choice. I like to go down and then just see what's in the middle. Some people will choose to go left. There's no really right way to do this. Like I'll go down here and depending on where that one's at, cross over. They're not very quick, you can get around them pretty easy. Again, left side of the door to try to save frames. Talk to him and we're just gonna mash B and select. From the moment Bubble Monkey walks away, it should take right around 1 minute and 2 seconds for the Skyrunner to take off. So you're looking for him to say, you know, let's do it in 10 years. Now you want to start mashing until it starts to move. Like he's gonna come over and it starts to move and that's it. This is right around 2.5 minutes. We're just gonna mash yes here. If you feel like losing about 8 seconds, you can tell him no, and his dialogue's actually pretty funny. Did you just call me here to make fun of me? Now, I may not get this, but this is a little bit of a time save. Like a second and a half. You wanna go up to the door, but not touch the door. So you do need to be careful. Enemies can spawn out here. These guys are stuck, so I'm not worried about them. Now you could choose to skip the teddy bear. I'm gonna grab it just to play it safe. Now this is a bit of an important area. Now, I see a lot of people walk way down here. This enemy here has a small aggro radius, so I'm gonna... Okay, well, that was probably an unnecessary risk. That's okay. Showcasing, you know, the aggro radius, that's all. It's not too big of a deal as long as they don't kill Paula. And even if they do, it's not like the end of the world. I will get a decent amount of experience here. But at least you know that if you take a fight through here, it's not the end of the world. You can get past it. But had I died, which could potentially happen, what I would have done is I'd have gone and sold my defense spray, hit an ATM up, and then oh, did not mean to use it on him, but that's fine. So you're gonna kind of follow this path. Now, the ideal strat here is to just defend, BBR. Because you don't want Jeff to die before he does his BBR roll. That was actually a perfect roll. Had I not killed him with one BBR, I would have done a rockin', and then because I got that level, I would have done a fire. Otherwise, you could do a freeze to try to get it to solidify, and then use the bottle rocket. Timing ends whenever you hear the sound of you getting the fly honey. And that's that. A 1:10:11, fairly decent boogie time, and that's with me kind of showcasing some of the different strategies. I hope this guide helps, even some. There are some things that, you know, I don't know myself that I'm still learning. But this is kind of ideally how you want things to go, you know, other than that one fight, it would have been a sub 110. But there are ways to control situations, there are ways to get around them, to avoid them. There are ways to save time that really aren't mentioned anywhere else. I do recommend you learn to stutter step. It is probably the single biggest time save you're gonna have, is not losing a bunch of time trying to stutter past an enemy and then you take a fight unnecessarily. Learning the distance, you know, for like the enemies that have short aggro distances can save time, so you're not like trying to despawn something that you can get around. Like I'll showcase here just how close you can go before this enemy will aggro you. And that should give you a little bit of an idea of like how far you can travel to get away from them, you know, or to avoid them to get past them. And hopefully that'll help save some time. So thank you all for watching this guide if you do, and I hope you have a good boogie run.